So, fellas, I'm doing this late on a Tuesday night because I may or may not be able to be with y'all. So I'm gonna be able to play this video. So it will be like I'm almost there. Um, I wanted to get some recording and show you guys how and why I watch myself after every game. First of all, it's just to be better. See if I missed anything. See if the crew missed anything. Something that can help us be better as a crew. The first thing that I can do to help make my crew better is to make myself better. And to make myself better, I watch these games, evaluate my key on every play. Was there any potential hold, chop block, uh, anything else on my part of the game? And then second of all, see if we missed anything as a crew. Are there any chop blocks out on the edge, kind of in no man's land that we missed? So starting out here, of course, we're going to be up top. Going to come into, the hash mark. If it's on our side of the field, say it's on the sideline, a pooch kick, probably going to stay about the numbers and just officiate. Pick up your keys as you're going down. In 7-man mechanics, it's easy to cover more players. So 7-man mechanics, umpire's probably going to have like the R3, 4, and 5 on this one. So 1 and 2 is going to be deep flank, and we'll pick up 3, 4, and 5. And then typically 6 will be the kicker, and he would kind of be left alone. And then the back judge is going to cover everything on his side, just going to mirror it on the other side. It's kind of hard to watch our kickoffs here because we need a high 50 or an end zone view to do these. So we're just going to kind of briefly go about them. Make sure we keep our guys inside the numbers until we get a whistle. Then tell them to come out. One thing I do tell my guy on the end of the line, typically he's the fastest one. Hey, make sure I can see that kicker kick the ball. Otherwise, may have a penalty on you. And the last thing they want to do is get a penalty on them because they're getting to come out there for 1 or 2 plays every quarter, so they want to make an impression. So this is the first thing I do on every free kick: make sure that nobody's offsides and everybody look good. So I like to do this on my Mac. It's got some good toggle switches, and I'm just used to it. I've been doing it on my Mac for about 5 years, and I can slow-mo. The touch of a button, rewind, slow-mo, pause, and then we can fast forward, get to our place where we need to see. As you do this, you'll get more efficient. But just starting out, the first thing we're going to do is just going to watch our center. I mean, he anchors our key 73, 79, 69. So we're going to watch him, see what he does on this play. So it looks like he gets help from the right guard. Has a little double team. That'll look good. Let's watch our left guard. Just a little pass pro. No big deal. So now let's look at the play overall. We realize we've got a pass play that's coming at us. And so you feel him coming in. You know he's coming in your peripheral vision. So the one thing that I like to do, and a good mechanic right here, is when you feel that pressure coming, take a couple of steps upfield. Take a couple steps, get out of harm's way. Now we can turn. We can see the completion of the catch. Make sure he has possession as he's going down, because we may be the only one that sees that right there. If that ball comes down and hits the dirt in that little bundle, we may be the only ones that can see that, because those other guys are pretty far away. So we make sure we got a good catch, find our forward progress spot it, and then turn and start our substitution mechanics, and then start counting. We count for the first time right then, as we're up there waiting for the referee to either wave us off or just keep us there. There's nothing else we can do, and they're not snapping the ball until we move away. So again, start with our center. Boom, seal block by our right guard. Everything looks good. Looks like our left guard comes out and gets a seal at second level. So now he actually pulls, and it's our left tackle that comes in and gets a seal block there. Doing a video for Thursday. So everything looked good there. These are good views here. Actually, it looks like 69 is the one who kind of peels back around, so he gets a seal here. And then this looks like maybe a design cutback. So he's going to come get a seal block there, that linebacker, and 22 cuts back up. So it looks like a design cutback play. So just and once you see something like that happen, they're probably going to run it again. So you'll be ready for it the next time. So we'll start. Sometimes I'll do this. I'll go slow-mo so I can watch all my guys at one time. So this snap, boom. You got a good fit right there. That pass protection. Go back. Watch our left guard. He's just going to get a seal block. Wait for those guys to commit. Once you kind of get fooled, you get fooled right here on the play action. That's fine. Just stay with your guys here because there's nothing we can do out here in this area. So just stay with your men right here. Make sure nothing silly happens because there's nothing we can do. You got a wide receiver, you got a tight end out there. He's somebody's key. The quarterback is the referee's key. So nothing we can do. We just stay with our guys. Make sure nobody's downfield ineligible downfield. Incomplete pass. Go work our ball mechanics. Go to the flank. Get our ball. Work ball mechanics. Good crisp passes. Hopefully your referee will be there, help you with ball mechanics, and make everything nice and smooth. And if he's not, I would encourage him to encourage him to do so, because that just helps run our game look smoother, keeps him involved too. So looks like we got a shed block by the zero technique of the center. Looks like he was going second level. That's a quick hitter, so we're probably not going to have a IDP because that ball's, he gets the ball, takes a step, two back, and ball's out. Looks like our blocks look good. No hands to the face. Don't be too quick to, haul downfield because there's nothing we can do. We're just going to make sure nobody does anything stupid on the way down. Get ready for our PAT. Probably get a couple of replays here. This is one of those, it's going to be coming right at you. Try not to get happy feet. Then we can turn and help a little bit. The one thing about it, the kid knows where he's going. He knows where you are. He knows where he's going. He's not coming right at you. Now, he may be coming right beside you, but he's not going to come right at you. So if we stay there or get a step up, we're going to be okay. It's when you take a step back, you put yourself in harm's way. Let's look at like we got a two technique right here. He's right in the hole. He's not inside the frame of the snapper. So that looks good. I would just remind him, hey, per our new rules, make sure you don't get lined up, anywhere shoulder to shoulder with the snapper. You got to be totally off the snapper. And remember, it's a 5-yard previous spot foul. So, we're not going to do any tack-ons or anything. You either got to decline the penalty and take the points, or take the points off and accept the penalty. So all blocks are above the waist. There was one exception to the numbering rule on that scrimmage kick. It was the center. So just keep in mind of that. Don't lose sight that he was an exception to the numbering rule. Again, we're not really going to be able to see too much blocking on here. Actually, we might be able to. So my key here is in 8-man mechanics is 3-4-5. So I'm going to have R3-4-5. So I'm coming down. I've got 3-4-5. So basically, I'm going to watch those guys until I can't. Then I'm going to if they break off, then I'm going to take the one like 11. I'm going to give up because he looks like he's coming out here for contain. I'm going to be on 42 and whatever number he is there, 8. And see what happens to him. Everything looks good. And stay with them too. Don't give up on them. There's somebody else who got forward progress. You watch those blocks. So here's the previous play. Looks like the nose guard is going to kind of olay him. He's going to fall down. And he's going second level to get that linebacker. He's not IDP because he was right at 3 yards. The way I look at that, I don't worry about doing math. I worry about ticks. I'm on the first tick past the big. And that's what I'm saying to myself. I'm on the first tick past the big. So in order for anybody to be IDP, they're going to have to be to the big. They're going to have to be to the next big. So I'm going to make it a nice, healthy 3.5 and almost 4 yards. So this is our first time to watch white. As you watch film on these cats, if you can watch film on your teams you're going, you can see, that I knew that white was going to be doing a lot of zone blocking, a lot of assignment stuff that it's just going to be the same every play, depending on what play they're running. This is a little mechanic that I learned from Reuben Fowler as I was coming up, getting a lot of training from him and from Michael Cooper, who's in the Big 12. Kind of sandwich in that pile. So your referee will be coming down to the hash mark, come around to the backside, and just watch everybody from all angles as they're getting up. So we got a tackle pulling out. We're not going to worry about him. We are going to worry about, looks like that right guard coming out on our linebacker. It's the thing that's going to jump out. Actually, it was tackle. But those second level linemen coming out to my linebackers, that's something that does usually get my attention. And I would encourage you to check out that action, because a lot of times you got a big, strong kid coming out on a faster, quicker kid, and big kid, either he's going to try to block low, which past 5 is illegal. He also has to get foremost from the front if he does block low on the second level outside of his tackle box. And if not, he reaches out and grabs and restricts. You got a pretty easy hole call there if he does that, and it springs a runner at point of attack. So we've got pass pro. Looks all clean. One thing I learned early in my career is you want to prolong your tip signal so everybody knows. Everybody can look up, sees it. Now, this was pretty obvious. It's not going to be an IDP because it got knocked down. But sometimes, if that joker is just barely tipped to the line and it continues downfield, that tip signal, we hold it up there, do it 5 or 6 times, can be a message to those guys downfield that, hey, we've got a tip. We don't have a pass that crossed line of scrimmage, therefore IDP's off. This is playing this game where receiving team kind of bobbled. It went off a kicker's helmet into another kicker's hands, and Unfortunately, it was still a kick. Unfortunately for the kickers, it was still a kick. So of course they can't advance it. As a crew, we should have killed it. And it's, of course, we got bobble, bobble, bobble. A little header forward to the 21 who goes to the house. And unfortunately for him, we all knew that it was going to be coming back. He did wear the big goal for a minute, so that was cool. So, of course, the what we're going to be doing on that with no replay, I actually saw this whole play, and I was wondering why the back judge let the play continue. So did my side judge who was there. My side judge there, we were guests on this crew because my crew was at A&M this week, and my side judge and I went to be on this crew. And we both talked about it later, and we're like, yeah, we should have shut that down because nothing good's going to happen by letting that continue on. You have a personal foul, something happens in there during that continuing action, unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's because we let it go. On Friday nights without replay, and I see that like I did, and he lets that go, I would have gone directly to the back judge, and I would have told him, hey, he did not have possession of that ball at any time. So therefore, we still had a kick. Once kickers possess a kick, it's dead right there. So, we get that fixed. We figure out where we should be, and then kick's going to have the ball 1st and 10 at that spot where they gain possession, and we're going to go, of course, on the snap because we had a kick play. All right, more zone blocking. Made a little pull here. So we have potential grab and restrict there on the corner. He doesn't. And if I recall, I was watching that block right there because I knew that he did have outside. He did have an outside fit. He comes out and he grabs him, but he doesn't. He doesn't restrain it. He doesn't restrict him. There was not any material restriction. It was point of attack, and it was suspect, but it was not a foul. And, I think there was some discussion about that. The grader, after the game, during debrief, they wanted to talk about it and looked at it and deemed that, no, he didn't restrict him. It wasn't pretty, but he didn't restrict him. We don't call fouls for not pretty. We want some good quality. God, this kid. He is making chicken salad out of chicken poop right here. Come out second level. Just watching dead ball action. Off ball action, then dead ball action. So we got a center coming second level. Got a seal block. See how that looks. It looks good. Got a big pile up right there. So now we're moving into, cleanup action. Making sure everything's nice and clean. Ball mechanics. So I think on here, I wanted to look at this positioning. So right now we're about the 9.5. So my positioning is typically between 7 and 9 yards. So looks like I'm about 8.5, 8.5. One thing I'm mindful is I'm not going to take any steps backwards. If anything, I'm going to come up. But we got to stay off that goal line because that's the money line, and we got to make sure those flanks on both sides have a complete clear view both ways. So lining up there completely off the goal line. Just watching my part of the game, nothing happens. So it looks like, all our keys there. They all come out. They all get their hands on their defensive tackles. They get good fits at a second level block, which, again, that's where ours are going to go. They're going to come out there. We want to make sure that the legality of that second level block is good. And he does a good job. He comes out there, gets his hands on him, gets a push. Compliment those guys. They make a good block out there. Tell them they did a good job. Nice job, 55. Good job. Pardon the yawn. It's getting kind of late. Now here's where you get in there. You get some good down the line shot. You see if anybody missed anything. Got any face masks? Did anybody miss a potential chop block? Was there a clip? That's when you get those funky angles and you see some new stuff that you don't get angles for every time. Nice easy touchdown. We'll look at one more PAT by White here. So on this one, everybody's lined up in our area here. I think right here we would have a foul right here. I would try to coach him up, get him to move. You're on it. You're on my center. You're on my center. If he can move before that snaps, if the ball snapped, then we're okay because that's not a foul until they snap the ball. So coach him up, try to prevent that foul from occurring. There's really no way for him to go right. So if he goes left and he's still, head up with that center or in his frame while he's moving left, then we're going to have a foul. 35, you're talking to him. 35, hey, you can't leap and land on anybody. That's what I'm saying. You can't leap and land on anybody. You can jump up to block it, but you can't land on anybody, right? Right. Usually I have my side judge help roll on that. So everything looks good. We do have a jump in there, a leap, but it was by a down lineman who was within 1 yard stationary. So, he can get in there other than getting leverage on his players. He can get leverage on the offensive team and push off them, pull on them, whatever to try to get to that ball. And he jumps there too, kind of lands down, so it looks kind of funky, but all that was legal. Watch a couple more series here. So right now, if you see 87, 87 and these guys were out here, they were moving. So if you got two guys moving, it gives you some extra time. So until he gets set, then you can count again or whatever. So until he gets set, use that to your advantage to know that, hey, they can't snap the ball. If they do, we got a motion, and there's going to be a lob ball foul. But take that time to get you counting. If you happen to miss it, take advantage of those opportunities when you know that it's not legal for our offense to snap the ball. Wasn't really anything special on this play. Just moving the pocket, pass pro. Thing looked good. Right there, you're looking for a potential hold, hands to the face, possibly. But really, you're not really looking for anything. You're just watching your portion of the game and see if anything jumps out at you. Does anybody do anything that helped them get an advantage? And if you don't see anything, then it's all good. Now, penalty enforcement. So what you would do as the penalty enforcer on Friday night, you got a pass interference. So first of all, you want to go ahead and do the math in your head. Okay, are we going to have a spot foul, or are we going to have a previous spot 15 yards? So basically, you already know what we're going to do. We don't have a ball. Ball's thrown incomplete. So we go ahead and we start penalty enforcement mechanics. We already know we're going previous spot. We know it's going to be 15 yards. So we don't really need any help doing that. I mean, we can go through the motions. We can get to with the head linesman. Hey, we're starting here. We're going 3. 1 is 5, 2 is 10, 3 is 15. I would encourage you, get in there, get the ball from the sideline, administer the penalty that way as soon as the referee's through announcing his foul, ball's on the ground, and he can blow it in. Of course, starting on the ready after the incomplete pass. Please don't have to wait for the referee to tell you what to do. This is his job right here, announcing the penalty, announcing the foul. We administer the penalty, get the game moving again. That's our goal is to, we wait all week to call this game. We're looking forward to it, but as soon as we get it started, the thing we want to get done is we want to get the game finished. We want to get the fourth quarter zeros, and we want to have done a really good job, and we want to have been a good game. So we got a lot of second level blocking here. This is the tackle that comes out, left tackle. He gets a chip and helps out the left guard, and then comes and seals on that number 1, that linebacker there. All our other blocks look good. They're just seal blocks. Now we're just cleaning up. Dead ball officiating. That potential face mask there, I don't know if it was or not, but we're not watching the ball. We're not watching the ball carrier, so we're not going to see that action. More than likely, I'm pretty sure that it was. I don't know. It's Marsh. I don't know if he turned it. Looked like he might have grabbed it and let go real quick. But we're not going to see that as umpires. We're going to be watching the action that's going on ahead. We're going to be watching out here in this block right here. We're not going to be watching this action here. That's what we got flanks here for, and the referee's going to be in watching that action too. So that if that was a face mask there, that would not go against us. That's not one that we would have or should have seen. Pass protection, everything looks good. This is one that's it's a little unnerving. That you feel the wide receivers coming in on a slant at you, but the thing is you can't cut your eyes over and look at that kid, because if you do, you lose everything here. Now, granted, nothing happened. You didn't miss anything, but if you look over and get a look here, you're not doing your job. You got to feel that he's coming. Kind of step up a little bit, because he's not going to come at you. He knows exactly where you are, and he's going to go, hey, I'm going to be right behind the referee. You throw it right behind him, and turn and look. Watch it. Don't get in a hurry. You don't have to get over there and get right up. Those kids got to get up. They're going to unpile themselves. Tackle. Watch them get up. Get over there, grab the ball, start ball mechanics. Start your count. So this one was a funky one that jumped out at me when I was doing my kind of overall. I'll usually watch the game like this, and I'll watch it again. So we've got kind of a whiff block, but it looks kind of like he went low on 97 with the running back going high. So kind of looked chop blocky. It wasn't. We talked about those as far as evaluating those and seeing them. If our referee comes in there and he's got a chop block called and we see it and we know it wasn't, we'll have a conversation with him. And, hopefully he sees it our way. If he doesn't, then he puts it down. That's his prerogative. If somebody comes with you and you're positive that you've got something, then that's fine. You stick with it. But here we go. So it just looked potential shot block, but it wasn't. Like I said, we know. And then we're just cleaning up the dead ball mess. So watch our right guard here. Watch him first. Got a good fit, keeps his feet moving. Looked good. So initially, I think I remember officiating this play like 22 was getting the ball. I mean, looked like it was a good fake, and we had a good point of attack block here. And I was kind of evaluating this block here. It looked good, and then all of a sudden you realize, okay, well, it was a play action. So, crap, here comes the ball the other way. It's just instincts take over, and instincts come with snaps and experience. And unfortunately, you're going to have to learn the hard way some things, and you're going to get run over and take some hits. And, even with experience, you're still going to take some hits. Not much on that play. So really, right now, we've got technically two defensive players in our area, and then 3 offensive. So, kind of a light play here. We've only got to evaluate 2 blocks. So we're probably going to have a double team and a single. So we got to evaluate those real quick. Uh-oh. Okay, one thing that jumped out at me here is that my line judge did have a flag. So I should have consulted him before taking the penalty to the referee. So mechanically, that was something that I messed up on this play, and noted it, and just don't do it again. So I've got something I don't understand, and I think it's because coaches don't know that it's not a foul. So what I would do here, if I was a special teams coach, I would block. If I was K, I would push this white team player into his player and cause a disruption. I don't think they know they can do that, because if they did, that's a perfect opportunity to knock him off that ball. That touches white, red recovers, and we've got a legal play there. No KCI. So, wondered why they don't do that more often, but I guess they probably just didn't think about it. All right, so we got 72 comes out second level, trying to get 35, which he gets out there and touches him, but As you can see, that block was kind of, it wasn't good. And I guarantee you that I'm watching that because his feet are bad. He's beat. We're going that way. So the only thing that he can do is let him go or restrict him after grabbing him. So, and he's definitely on notice, but he just doesn't do anything. He lets him go smartly. So now we got 6 guys up in our box there. So we got pass protection. Everybody's retreating. Nobody's coming downfield, so we don't have any IDP. So on a long pass like this, we're still going to turn on it, but again, we're not going to help do anything. We're just looking to see whether it's complete or incomplete. If it's complete, we're going to go down and get a ball and start ball mechanics. If it's incomplete, we're going to go to the up flank. We're going to get a ball and go back to previous spot. Get the ball down, start our count. You see here he makes an awesome catch. Great catch. Just some pass protection. So those slants that are coming at you, just take a couple steps up. Keep yourself out of harm's way. He doesn't really make it there, but he's coming at us. If he makes that catch and tries to get away, and we want to be upfield a little bit just to keep ourselves out of the way. It's good zone blocking. Nothing really to see there. On positioning where you want to be. So there's a lot of guys up in our area right here. We got a zero technique that's all up on the ball. So there's really no place for us to get other than head up. And I'm probably watching the snap between the zero technique's legs. That's really the only thing that could be going on here because I'm almost on the hash mark. And that's not a bad thing. But you want to be able to see the ball, of course. But then you also want to be in your peripheral. You want to be able to see your 2 guards and make sure they're not moving. So we can't get totally zoned in, focused on that ball. We got to see it, but we also got to see too. We also got to see the rest of the center and his body, and we got to see our 2 guards. We do have some help on the flanks, but those are our positions there. Those are our guys and our keys, and we got to own that. So we get help from the guard there. Yeah, no big deal. Everybody's blocks are up. Makes it easy when everybody's blocks are up like that. There's no cut, so we don't have to worry about a chop block. So looks like the first down is on the big line. So let's see where Scott places this ball. So what I would do, if I'm going, and I know we're going from a big line to a big line, so we're going to the 25 to the 35 for a first down. We're in the negative territory. We're going from the 25 to the 35. So if we hit the 35, we know we get our first down. So what I'll do is on this one possession, I'll place the nose of the ball at the front of the line. So that way I know when we go from the 35, I know that the front of the 45 is our line to gain. So instead of the back of it being like it is here, we're going to switch it. It's going to be another, what, I don't know, 4 inches. But that's going to be the way we're going to keep this game moving and use our experience to keep the game flowing so we don't have to have a measurement. So we know now that this, I don't know what this big line is, but whatever this is, this first down is going to start with the ball at the tip on the front side of this line. 2 lines later, it's going to have to break the whole line in order for it to be first down. That's what I do, because I don't like to put it back on the back side of the line, because it's just a little too obvious. And anybody that's paying a lot of attention or has some kind of they don't like to see that you just put it on lines. And there's some people that still don't like that. I think it's a good way to keep the game moving. Good game management tool. But if you got a question about that, you didn't understand it, just shoot me an email. But we'll see where Scott puts it. Scott's going to put it. Oh, we'll see see if we can see it in the next snap. Yeah, balls. So it looks like it's on the front again. So again, I would have put it on, like I said, it's on the back side of the line. I would have put it on the front side of the line. So that way, in order to have a first down, we would have to make it past the 15-yard line. Anyway, got a busted play. Now this RPO. Is this RPO or just a busted play? Yeah, this is RPO. So we have the fake. His first option is not there. So now's when we have the opportunity for IDP. So that's when we have their antennas up for illegal man downfield. These guys are pretty disciplined, so I think they stay in and don't get past, because they know that this quarterback likes to run. And their head coach was an offensive lineman, so he's probably coached them up pretty good. They're not even 2 yards downfield. And like I said, if they got a good rushing quarterback, there's no reason for them to be downfield. Nice, easy play to officiate. Not going to see that many fans at the stadiums this year, unfortunately. Blocks look good. Nothing low. Watch the center. Coming out double teaming with the right guard. Left guard's right in the hole. It's got a good block. So that's one of those plays that ends, right there at your feet. You can toot it up, but make sure 101% that that ball's dead in possession on the ground before you toot that whistle. The last thing you want to do is have an inadvertent whistle on a play like that, and somebody's walking in for a touchdown. Yeah, not much blocking to worry about on that one. So you can see this takes some time. If you're truly evaluating yourself, being honest with yourself, watching every play, then it takes a minute. It takes some commitment, but it's worth it. If you want to get better, if you want to have somebody evaluate your something that you're not sure about, send Tim Hendricks, send Durwood, Steve, whoever. Send us your clip. Ask for our opinion. Send it 2, 3 of us and see what we say. Hopefully, we'll say the same thing, but you never know. All I need is your credentials to log into Huddle, and I'll go in and look at it. So when you can hear the coaches, they're yelling about something, and you think, "Oh man, did we miss a face mask?" Go with your guts. If you didn't see it, then don't worry about it. And as you can see here, there's nothing close to a face mask on this quarterback. Not even close. Reaches in there, he grabs his shoulder pad, and that was it. So we'll take a look at our nose tackle, make sure he's good, which from that angle doesn't look like he is. He could be, but doesn't look like he is. We're going to coach him up and get him off the frame of our snapper. Because on this one, was it 4th and 12? If they make it, they're probably not going to take the points off the board. But they're not going to. But if they do miss it, they would get another opportunity from 5 yards closer. So, that's just a way, the way that I watch film. And like I said, I try to do this. I try to do this the night of or the first thing the next morning because the game's still fresh in my head. Still got the notes that I've taken throughout the game. And again, if you see something that goes on and you don't throw a flag on something that happened at Q2 at 3:47. Write down on your card, get a piece of paper, Q2 3:47 OH number 67 white or H or visitor H or V question mark. So that tells you go back and look at that quarter, that time. Did he hold? Go back and get a look at it and see, if your judgment was right. And like I said, if you need some help, you want to get somebody else to look at it, send it to us. I'd be glad to help, man. I just want everybody to get as good as they want to be. And believe me, you can be good. You can be good. It just takes some effort. It takes experience. And experience only comes with snaps. So thanks for taking the time to watch this. Again, this is recorded. There'll be some questions that Tim and Sean can take. And other than that, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you on the field.